Hi, I'm Amy Cameron from STL Partners, and I'm here at FutureNet World, and I am joined by Samir from LabLabee. So, Samir, I would love to hear from you a little bit about what you think the future of connectivity means. We're here talking about network transformation. So what does that mean to you, and how does LabLabee fit into that story?
Yeah, so for us, future networks is a paradigm shift because there is a lot of new technologies happening, talking about cloud native network APIs and AI in networks, and when we started LabLabee, we saw that technologies are changing and moving, but we are doing exactly the same way with skills. So yeah, and we think differently how we can change also the way that we can do skilling.
Yeah.
And we launched LabLabee with this idea having virtual labs, for future skills, talking about future network for future skills.
Oh, great. Excellent. So really focused on the people side of
Yeah,
things.
people, yeah.
So I hear that you are working with Orange and helping them to upskill. So how are you going about that? What kind of program have you launched with them? What does it look like? How are you helping them to upskill at scale?
Yeah, so with Orange, skills is very important because we talk about people, and people, is in their DNA.
Yeah.
And from day one, we create learning paths, learning program to reskill, the employees to this new words. For example, we have a program named Telco Cloud for Beginner, helping telecom engineers. They don't understand what is cloud, scripting, cloud native and stuff, helping them to understand the new technologies and new tools by practicing.
Yeah.
So we have strategic learning paths to achieve specific targets in terms of adoption and also acceleration of the deployment of the cloud native.
Orange is a big organization. Telecoms operators are really big organizations. Can you dive in a little bit more in more detail about how your approach helps to sort of drive this transformation at really large scale?
Yeah. If we take the story and the history of all the transformation that we have, for example, IT cloud.
Yeah.
So all the successful deployment or transformation were enabled by skills, because you can't do any kind of transformation without enabling people, right? Yeah. So and working with telcos, they are big companies, as you said, and they, the first thing they are struggling to get, I have telecom engineers, network engineers, but I need to do AI or cloud native, right? So how we can, help, and putting these subjects as very important subjects, like strategic subjects, but thinking about the ways, the different format that we can use to do upskilling and reskilling. Yeah. And this is how we work with them. So having the step one, which is enabling people, and we enable people with new way to do trainings, based on tools, because this new telecom future networks is based on tools and technologies with the virtual hands-on experience. Okay. So yeah. And after they are enabled, they can work in the real-world project. They can get the skills. They can understand this new telecom ecosystem, and they can have real-world, let's say, projects. Because if they don't understand how it's working, like we talk about Open RAN and stuff, if you don't understand, they will not use it or buy it, right? Yeah. So we help them to adopt this kind of new technologies and accelerate their adoption with different way, with mostly based on labs and virtual environments.
No, I totally get that. The only way you really retain something that's a little bit more technical is by actually doing it.
Exactly. Is making your hands dirty, because now telecom is becoming more IT based. Based on tools, if you see AI is tools like prompts and stuff.
Or the APIs as well. Those are tools.
Exactly. So doing APIs, and there is a lot of challenges, network APIs. The main challenge, how we can get the developers in this telecom, because developers, they develop web application, they know what is database, but they don't understand what is G-Node radio frequency and stuff. Yeah. So we help them to get skills, developers getting skills in telecom getting skills in cloud native cloud developers getting skill in the architecture of telecom to build the workload. So different use cases, but we like it because it's creating a new community of users And you know, they are believers on the future of telecom, which is more open and based on open source and you know and you know tools based, you know, practical based.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great part to the sort of the people part, to the marketplace economy, if you will. So you mentioned a little bit of it just now, but what are you thinking about in the future in terms of kind of new services or new verticals that you might work with?
Yeah, today, you know, our vision is to do three main things, okay? We started by learning by doing, like learn and do. So we have different formats of learning. And after quickly, we saw like the opportunity of labs, you know, for doing. Now, more and more users and customers, they learn and do in LabLabee, they want to test. The idea of testing is having lab as a service, and we started to work on it. So imagine you want like to test, you know, vendor in 5G. So you come to LabLabee, you have the vendor setups, you test the features. So you are, you know, gaining a lot of time, you know, instead of doing RFP like pilot or, you know, you see the value directly because you get access to the products. So it's a product-led platform, but in an idea of a marketplace. So not specific for one vendor, is multi-vendors. So we do have already partnership with some vendors, and we are continuously, you know, building now. Because, you know, the journey of the users, you know, they learn, they do, but they, you know, what is the next step? Like continuous practicing. So I want to test my equipment. I want to test my radio access. I want to test my fiber. I want to my core network. But, you know, talking about testing, we need to have the vendors because they are, you know, the players in the market and the production environment. So becoming more real world. And this is our, you know, vision, and, you know, and our next step is becoming more test as a service platform.
Wow.
And yeah, it's working. You know, we have exciting projects with many vendors, and we are happy, you know, to build this community of, you know, new ways to do testing.
Great. Well, I think it's really exciting. I feel like this is going to create a buzz. It's a new way of thinking about things. It's a new approach. So,
exactly. We know it will take time because telecom is, you know, is
as long as you're prepared for that.
But you know, everyone is going to this direction, like doing openness. You know, Open RAN, open. It's the first time we hear about openness in radio, you know. So Open RAN, cloud native. Even if you take any infrastructure now in cloud, it's based on open source, like Docker, Kubernetes. Even the vendor solutions are based on open source. So, you know, let's say we think that open source will kill telecom. And, you know,
no, it'll enable it.
No, killing the let's say the traditional telecom, you know, talking about the new telecom. It's still like, it's like software is killing, you know, it's becoming more software based in the sense of, you know, we want to change like from traditional to the new telecom by enabling open source. And yeah, this is our vision. It's just acceleration of the adoption and helping, you know, all the ecosystem to get one platform to test any kind of technology.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your vision. It's been a pleasure to hear it. And thanks for joining us at FutureNet World.
Thank you. Thank you so much.